Hi, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. We're starting a new series today, and it is one that we've talked about doing for a long while, almost since we started this channel. We've been promising the people that we were gonna react to Band of Brothers, which is like, it's a classic by now. And full disclosure, I have seen this series, or I saw a lot of it a long time ago. So there's definitely going to be stuff that I will remember, so I'm not going to be surprised, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff that I don't remember, and I've been looking so much forward to watching it again, because the first time I don't really think I was paying much attention, you know, watching it with friends and they're running around and doing all sorts of stuff and talking over the movie and or over the series. Yeah, and there might even have been like an episode or two I've missed or something. So now, like, I get the chance to finally dive in. But it is definitely the first time for you, and jumping into a series like this. We've been talking about it a little bit, especially because of, you know, the subject matter and what's going to happen, and stuff that you can already, or like, even if you haven't seen it, then you would probably know that it's gonna get tough. It's gonna get bloody. It's gonna be a rough watch, so to say. People are gonna die.
It is about war.
Yes, so. and war sucks. It's really hard to watch. So yeah.
And in that regard, if you don't like people being squeamish about blood, gore, or like flying intestines, stuff like that, we are definitely not the ones for you, because I am really bad with stuff like that. So I will be looking away if I get the chance, because I really don't like that. I get a very physical response to that.
Yeah, then these.
So now you know.
Yeah, these reactions are probably not going to be for you if you get really annoyed with people going like, if something really gory or something really tough is going on screen. So yeah, there it is. But with that all out of the way, are you ready to jump into this? Almost? Just, all right. All right, well, hopefully this first one, as far as I remember, it's going to be like, they're going to ease us into it, at least. We're not going to start with limbs flying and everything just from the get-go, as far as I remember. And we know that there are like a lot of big stars in this one as well, and many actors who got their start in this as, you know, supporting characters and everything. So we will be looking out for, you know...
familiar faces.
Familiar faces, exactly. But let's jump into episode 1, titled Currahee. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions to Band of Brothers and all the other shows that we're doing on our Patreon page. The link is down in the description below. And here we go.
Fellows in that town that were 4F committed suicide because they couldn't go at different time.
I did things. I didn't do them for medals. I didn't do them for accolades. I did them because it's what had to be done.
This guy giving the speech was saying, but you get paid $50 a month more. So that made it $100.
That'll do it.
So that was like real people.
Yes, you're gonna see, I think, like interviews all throughout with the real people.
Okay.
Who are being portrayed in the series.
Okay. It's good to know. Great swimmer.
You're so interested in serving a cause. Why don't you join the army?
See who that is? Michael Fassbender?
Oh, what?
Actually, it's from there. Oh. Oh, yeah. 112 days of that son of a bitch, and here we are.
You people are at the position of attention!
Yep, that's the son of a bitch.
Perfect.
It's a very different role than Ross. I can just, yeah.
Private Picante, have you been blousing your trousers over your boots like a paratrooper?
No, sir.
That explained the creases at the bottom. Rust on the butt plate hinge spring, Private. Bullshit. Revoked. You want to kill Germans?
Yes, sir.
Not with this. I wouldn't take this rusty piece of shit to war. Every man in the company who had a weekend pass has lost it. If you ever serve in the paratroopers, are you Silver?
Okay.
A little bit difficult to take him seriously.
It is, yeah.
How come we're the only company marching every Friday night, 12 miles full pack in the pitch dark?
Why do you think, Private Randleman?
Lieutenant Sobel hates us, sir.
Lieutenant Sobel does not hate Easy Company, Private Randleman. He just hates you.
Now, Lieutenant.
Pour him.
What a waste.
Yeah.
You will fill your canteen and repeat all 12 miles of the march immediately.
Yes, sir.
Fall out! I want the names of 6 men, their infractions, and your disciplinary recommendations on my desk by 0130. Is that clear?
What infractions, sir?
Find some.
He just wants to punish people.
Yeah.
Let's bring that boy.
Oh, God.
You have 50 minutes to the top and back, and I will be watching you. What are you waiting for?
Easy Company has the finest performance record in the entire 2nd Battalion.
Whose footlocker is this? Private Parks, sir. Get rid of him.
I think that's Simon Pegg standing next to David Schwimmer.
I think a special meal before their afternoon off would be a welcome change of pace. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
I like spaghetti.
Have some spaghetti bolognese. Nom, nom, nom.
This stuff is orange. Come on, Gonorrhea. As a fellow Italian, you should know that calling this crap spaghetti is a mortal sin.
Lectures are canceled! Easy Company is running a Currahee! Move! Move!
Ugh, of course.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen when you just thrown down like I don't know how much spaghetti and bolognese, and then you go for a run afterwards.
We always hit our ass. Christ almighty, who the hell are we?
You just see those spaghetti, like, ties.
Yeah, yeah. He is uniting them in their hate towards him, and so in a way he is doing his job, I guess. But he looks scared as all hell, like really.
Yeah, I think he might be afraid of heights or something.
How do you expect to slay the Huns with dust on your jump wings?
Plus, just give me a drink.
Oh, I recognize that guy as well. Oh, what's he been
Ted Hunt!
Thank you, Sergeant Grant. So I want you to have fun and remember our motto. Currahee!
Currahee! Sir, we have perfect cover here.
Lieutenant, deploy your troops.
Second platoon, move out. Tactical call.
in? What?
Hi. Captain, you've just been killed, along with 95% of your company. Your outfit?
Easy Company, 2nd Battalion, 506.
I hate to say I told you so.
Leave 3 wounded men on the ground and report back to the assembly area.
That is on you, Sobel.
So, he gets a little jumpy in the field.
Mm-hmm. He gets jumpy and then you get killed.
That's nice.
Listen, if we discuss it, I think it should just be amongst
All
ourselves.
right, absolutely.
Morning. Oh, this could turn into a real nice trip.
Morning. Yoink.
Right now, some lucky bastards headed for the south.
So much secondhand smoke going on there in
Yeah.
that room. It's just all foggy.
What if they send us to North Africa?
My brother's in North Africa. He says it's hot.
Really? It's hot in Africa?
No matter where There we go. Once we get into combat, the only person you can trust is yourself and the fella next to you.
Hey, what if that paratrooper turns out to be Sobel?
That prick's the son of Abraham.
Huh?
Armadillo.
Congratulations. Get your nose out of my face.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
What do you think you're fighting for?
There should be no fence here.
Tipper!
Give me the...
It's right there, dude.
Picani, Luz, get the men... Get them... Take cover behind those trees.
All right, you heard the word.
There should be no fence here.
Well, there is.
We could go over it, sir.
Really? That's not the point. We're the goddamn...
Oh.
Goddamn hell on.
You're right.
Hmm?
Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
Major Horton, what is he? Did he join us?
Maybe he's moving between the platoons, sir?
What is the goddamn hold up, Mr. Sobel?
A fence! Sir,
Oh, for fuck.
wire fence!
Oh, that dog just ain't gonna hunt. Now you cut that fence and get this goddamn platoon on the move!
Where are my goddamn wire cutters? Sir.
Cutting the fence.
That's so British. Oh, I think so.
Bloody hell.
There it was.
Stop yelling that.
Would that be the enemy?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Who was the idiot who cut that man's fence?
I was ordered to, sir.
By who?
Major Horton, sir.
Major Horton ordered you to cut the fence.
Yes, he did.
Major Horton is on leave in London. Get those cows out of here.
Sobel is having a real difficult time staying cool, calm, and collected while out and doing missions.
Now, for crying out loud.
They spelled court-martial.
You spend your weekends on the base anyway, Dick. Be a man, take the punishment.
May I borrow your pen, sir? I request trial by court-martial.
Woof.
Sobel did not want that.
Nope.
I will not follow that man into combat.
Me neither.
Let's do it.
If you don't trust your commander, you know, going into war, that's
That's not good.
nope.
I'll have you all shot. This is nothing less than an active mutiny while we prepare for the goddamn invasion of Europe, which leaves me no choice but to spare your lives. Now get out of my office and get out of my sight. Get.
Get. That did not work.
Those are good men. I know them. I can work with them.
But they can't work with you.
I'm losing easy company?
War effort needs you elsewhere.
Yay.
Mission accomplished, I guess.
Yeah.
Permission to speak, sir. Who will be replacing me?
Lieutenant Meehan from Baker Company is senior. Good luck at Chilton Foliot, Herbert. Don't let us down now.
He actually kind of fucked it up for himself. He did such a good job that they're like, no, we need to keep you here to like train other regiments and companies and stuff. So, yeah. Not even gonna like give them a proper goodbye and, you know, respect them. And, yeah.
For you, lads, actually, so I can get your mince pies from some of this Jerry Clubber, if you know what I mean. Not really. Hey? Hey, Mac, you got a Luger? Boy, she sure is a doozy. Yeah, it's Tucker, innit? What? Hey?
Hey? It's a pucker, innit?
Hey, mate! You're having a bath if you think you're half inch in that. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, good luck. You too, mate.
So, it's Normandy.
Saint-Marie-du-Mont, causeway number 1, causeway number 2. My webbing, my 45, canteen, 2 cartons of smokes, Hawkins mine, 2 grenades, smoke grenade, gamma grenade, TNT, this bullshit, and a pair of nasty skivvies. Where you keeping your brass knuckles? I could use some brass knuckles.
Whoa. You gotta love cops.
You send weapons through the mail? Or that was a thing? Wow.
Darn his brother in Italy? Henry? Killed in Monte Casino.
If it were me, I'd tell him.
A couple of hours before we jumped.
Nah, it's a tough decision.
You're en route to the great adventure for which you have trained for over 2 years.
That's why they gave us ice cream.
Great adventure.
The invasion has been postponed. We're on a 24-hour stand down.
This is quite a surprise.
And now we're back to, yeah.
Got the wrong goddamn jacket.
I was struck by lightning.
Bill Garnier's brother.
Oh.
That's him? Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, and now he knows. Oh, man.
The calm before the storm.
Calm before D-Day.
Sorry for my mom. He was, Let's get this over with.
Her favorite.
Yeah.
That air signal is making me loopy.
Yeah, that's a lot of planes.
All right. That was the first episode. And it was, as I said, a bit more of a slow start where they're kind of easing us into it. No pun intended, easy company. But yeah, you got to know, we got to know like a handful of all the people involved. And we definitely got to know Sobel in this one, and the son of a bitch they were talking about in the opening, and he was interesting fella, to say the least, because he was very, very, very tough, and very focused on not looking weak or something to that extent, or like, I don't know if he was maybe trying to make up for the fact that he's not the best in the field himself, and he's just projecting that towards others, and that's why he's so rough with them. I don't know, but he trained them, and then because he did such a good job, they kept him as a trainer instead of actually sending him to war as a commander, which that was probably a very good decision.
Yeah, because if, as you said, if the troops do not trust him,
yeah,
then he could have a real problem. But it almost felt like, well, he was not doing the right. I don't know how hard it is to, navigate, but it seems like there is something wrong with his sense of direction or something, because they always ended up, or those 2 times where we see he didn't do well.
Yeah.
It was because he didn't
know what the
navigate
hell.
well.
Yeah, he didn't know what the hell they were.
Perhaps there's something about that, maybe. And of course, that he's not necessarily taking the best decisions or making the best decisions.
No, I think like he just panicked a lot, and he was very uncertain about what to do, and then couldn't figure out the map really, it seemed like. And every time, as you said, he was just like, I don't know where we are, and
there shouldn't be a fence.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a fence here. So like that one thing that they're not being like, he wasn't prepared for that fence, and that just threw a wrench into the whole operation for him, and he just started losing it. And that is when, like, when he's at that state, his men could easily mess with him as well. And then you got that whole thing with him making the brilliant decision of cutting the fence, even though like someone told him to, but he should have looked into that a little bit more. Maybe been a little bit more suspicious. Like, why are you yelling that? Why aren't you like telling me that to my face? Where are you?
Why are you breaking silence?
Exactly. He's just he didn't think clearly out in the field, and that is definitely why the other guys, they did not want him there as a commander. Just imagine going into war and having to like obey that guy's orders, and when you know that he's probably gonna make a mistake, and that mistake, that's gonna mean your life. So yeah, totally get that. And I'm sad that some of the guys actually got reprimanded or
relieved from service.
Yeah, and demoted and everything because they expressed their expressed that they didn't
disapproval
of the whole situation, or they didn't want to be a part of it like this, or but you also totally get, especially in the military, and this is like real dire circumstances, that you do have to respect the chain of command. It's there for a reason. If everybody just started questioning everything and every decision, that's not a good thing. And of course there are gonna be mistakes, but yeah, man, I'm glad that we don't have to do anything like this. But it was a different time. Like they told us at the beginning, like people volunteered for this. They wanted to do this. They wanted to do their part for the country, and it kind of gave them meaning, gave their life meaning. And even like some of them, if they couldn't go, they would commit suicide because they were just so distraught and so sad that they couldn't be accepted into the military and do their part. That is a very different time, because most people nowadays, I don't think, would volunteer.
I think there's a lot of volunteers. Definitely. Well, there is, at least here. I don't know about the rest of the world, but there are so many volunteers here that they won't have to look for. They won't. They could actually.
They don't need to draft us.
Exactly. We don't need the draft.
So. Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, it's there are definitely still volunteers. But we're not in the middle of a big war like this, so we don't need like the numbers as they did back then. But war, we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet.
No, exactly. I was actually I'm a little bit surprised that we are already getting to D-Day this quick. So there's. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's gonna be the next many episodes are probably gonna be a bit more rough than this one.
Yeah.
But I do think that this was a very good way to start the whole series, and it's a good way to, as I said, get to know all the characters, and they even managed to squeeze in a lot of humor in there as well.
I'm also very surprised about the amount of humor.
it's very well written, and you know, like the two people, like showrunners, as if you can call it that,
executive producers.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
they're called.
Spielberg and Hanks,
Yeah.
at least. They like their sensibilities and the movies that they have been working on before and making, and like they are good at juggling like all of like both the dramatic stuff and some sprinkle some humor in there, and yeah, I'm real glad that we started this, and I'm looking very much forward to getting into to some of the nitty gritty stuff, even though I know that it's gonna be tough to watch.
Yeah, well, I must confess, I'm really not looking forward to it because I am still so scarred from watching Saving Private Ryan, and even though I know it's definitely not the same and there are definitely big differences here, I still get a lot of the same vibes.
Yeah, it is also, you know, it's not even like they made Hanks and Spielberg, they made that movie together, and then they made this series afterwards because they just got so swept up by that whole story and the World War II, and they even did another one after this that's called The Pacific.
And it's not that I don't understand it, it's just that I am, as I said, I'm so scarred by that whole like watching that movie. And it's just, oof, if it's gonna be just a little bit, just
like
a
that,
teeny tiny bit like that, I'm just gonna be dreading it throughout all and get like sweaty palms and, you know, hovering panic attacks and very physical responses and stuff like that. So
you guys might see some of that if we get into some more Saving Private Ryan territory-ish. But so far, so good. Do you have anything you wanna add?
I just think it's really nicely done, like the cinematography and we have a few shots of like the air bases, and we have like a few shots of villages, and that whole in the last one here with like you saw
all the planes and the boats and everything.
You saw the coastline in the distance.
The scope of this series is pretty grand. It is like a movie, and you know, remember when this was made, this was, you know, just at the beginning of the new century. So it's like 20 years old, and 20 years ago, just even though it's not that long ago, but series wasn't the same as they are now. It's not the same. It's not typical for series to have that big of a production budget, or it wasn't typical for a series to have that at the time. So it was a really big deal, and it is basically made to be like and look like a 10-hour movie. So I definitely agree that it's beautifully shot and made, and the music as well, I think, really good.
And the attention for detail. I mean, we see all of this. It's almost like 1940s.
Yes.
And, you know, they were playing hoops, and they actually it was an actual basket.
Yeah.
So I mean, this just, I think it's very cool, the attention for detail and the cinematography in general, and everything is really nice.
I think that, like, also a lot of those details, they're getting that through, you know, some of the people who were actually there, and like some of those that we saw in the beginning talking about it, that I could imagine that they've been telling Spielberg and Tom Hanks about every little detail, and they wanted to get everything right, and probably also invited them to the set to be like, does this look like how it was?
Yeah, perhaps. And I just had to, in the start, I just had to clarify whether it was actual people who went to the, like, you know, if it was like real.
Oh yeah.
Or if it was like
made out to be real.
Yeah,
so if
exactly.
it was actors or not.
Exactly. If it was authentic or not.
Yes.
Because it could have been a part of it. But,
Sure.
Just, I'm glad to know.
But that's going to do it for our reaction and review of Band of Brothers episode 1. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we will see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.